Hey guys, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Keykey's Doorway. We're gonna try something a little new. I've been feeling that energy for some time now, and I would like to share with Keykey's Doorway subscribers and viewers. Hey, good evening. So, we're going to be tapping into our Temptress side of self. What gives us temptation? How we even get temptation? And how we use temptation in attracting lovers, attracting friends, attracting even our life purpose, believe it or not. I used to think that temptation, seduction, which is a part of my sign Taurus and opposite sign Scorpio, that it is usually seen as negative. However, in my world, in my energy, I see it as beautiful. I see it as breath itself. So let me express that self before getting to the cards to see how our past life temptations has given us our DNA, our characteristics. If you're a charmer, how did you get to be a charmer? If you're a person that is good with wording, how did you get good with wording? Our past tells us these things. So, let's get into it. See, I feel the need to say this. God, Gaia, God, Goddess, Mother, Father, what does our past want to show us? What does our past want to show us? What gives us temptation? Tempting, tempting to touch my soul. Oh, tempting, tempting to connect once more. Oh, tempting, tempting to transform my transgressions into triumph. Yes, so tell me what tempts me, what tempts you, what tempts us to go on. Let's see. Let's see. Get this closer. I like to be closer. Ancestors known and unknown. They bright. You know they here. They like, oh, she talk about temptress, temptation. Hmm. Temptation. What does human being know about temptation? Well, we gonna find out. So let's see. Our past life wants us to see that our temptations, wow, has stemmed from vows. Yes, they agree. A lot of times when people look at vows, they think of the traditional sense of being faithful, being true, being dedicated, right? This flame is a representation of a human being's soul on the outside. Based on the size of this flame, shows another person their energy or their level of emotions towards another. So if you're making a vow to someone of love, right? And imagine your soul in front of you as a candle. Would it be seen as small? Because I don't see this as small. I see this phallus, this womb, this heat to rise higher than even next to this person expected. So much so she's looking at her candle like, is my candle high enough? Is my Is my loyalty to tempt myself to become loyal? Is it strong enough? Hmm. Do we think temptation is weak? I don't think so. If temptation was so weak, then even in this picture, when we are loyal to even ourselves or other people, we go all out, all in. And a lot of times when people say that, they're thinking, well, how much can you go all out, all in? Oh, let me tell you something. When a person makes that voice of words to seduce, to serene another, they gotta come with a vixen mentality. They gotta open up their primal instinct to show another how far they can go to be dedicated and loyal. So, what would that mean to you? For example, if someone was to, or if I was to tell someone that I am a very loyal person, as a Taurus person, our zodiac signs tell us our level of dedication. That flame went up as soon as I said that. So, what is your zodiac? For example, mine is Taurus and opposite sign Scorpio. So, I'm going to tell you two ways I show loyalty. The first one, I got to claim my Taurus side, right? May 1st. May, I have that fire, that flame. So, when I say I am loyal, I show my loyalty through actions. And a lot of times people think Taurus don't show their actions. They're kind of slow in their movement. Mm-mm-mm. If we're moving slow, it's like, would you want someone to make love to you in speeding? Or would you want them to make love to you in slow thrust? Slow thrust requires that person to feel your heartbeat through your body. That means they have to take their time to feel your rhythm. Your rhythm is from your bloodstream and from the flame that you are excited of another. That spark comes out not just in the word, but in the actions that I will be building. So, if I tell someone that I care for, this could be a friend, a lover, a job, life purpose. If I say I'm going to show loyalty, then my actions will prove that. Meaning, if it's a lover, I would show my actions through, for example, timing, right? Timing. Timing. I'm not late. If I'm saying I'm going to be somewhere, or if you want me to be somewhere at a location, and I could be far away, no matter what distance, I'm going to find a way to get to you. Now, ask yourself, would a person do that for another? Maybe. But it's their level of dedication. How far are they willing to travel to see you? If I say I'm loyal, my actions will show that. If that's what the person feels that I should show them. What if, for example, the Scorpio side of myself, if I say I'm going to show loyalty to someone, then rather than this show through actions, I'm also going to use intuition. I'm going to ask and watch. I'm going to be using my primal nature. Water signs are very primal. They feel their way through situations before acting on them. So, based on how my partner allows me or gives me that opportunity to feel their energy, their flame, by how they speak to me, like, I've always wanted to try being open physically with someone. I don't like to touch people. I take that into note and use that Scorpio side of self by saying, okay, if this person is afraid to touch someone, it is rooted in something that they want to heal but are not sure of. Then, again, I like to do physical massages. I like to bring out natural shea butters and oils and frankinmyrrh, Egyptian musk, set music that has soothing tones for that person to relax. Because again, if they don't like to touch somebody, that means they might not like to be touched either. So I become that temptress, like we all do, right? And see how far we can go with another. So based on me massaging this person and figuring out based on my sensation through touching their body, what parts do they move? Do they move their body when I touch their spine? That's something I will start to work on a little bit more. Do they move when I touch the top of their shoulder to their neck? That's something that would be noticed. So, what way would you show your loyalty through your actions? What are the two ways you would show that spark, that flame? Uh, Communal living. So, hmm, communal living. Your dedication and loyalty will be on showing another your dedication to how to live together as one. Again, as a human being, we know how to live on our own. Learning how to do that takes time and practice, right? But when we do that, we want to share our space, our apartment, our home with another. We decorate our home with certain colors, certain fabrics, not just for our sake to attract our Eden or our oasis, but when we do meet someone that we want to share that communion with, we want to invite them to our home. We want them to see how we live. We want them to see the layers of how we decorate. This, in a way, shows our significant other like a refrigerator. You know how when you go into someone's house, into your friend's house, the first thing you ask for, or the first thing they offer, is water, coffee, tea. If they offer other things, that tells you their level of worldly ways to tempt to satisfy the senses of another. Some people may not want water at first, so they learn to offer tea. Some people may not want tea, so they offer coffee. Depending on the time, if they offer coffee, look, the insects is coming up to. I'm talking about temptation. They want to come up. When I'm talking about our past lives, I don't get this, not at all. And mind you, my area is clean. My home is clean. What? Are you done now? Did you hear enough? Okay. I digress. Sorry about that. Let me see. Make sure this is set. Yes. Thank you for being here, ancestors known and unknown sources. When we think of how to attract the opposite sex, how do we do it? We don't just do it by clothes. We do it by our home. We do it by the places we want to take them. What kind of restaurants? What kind of museums? What kind of conventional ways that you would like to commune with your lover? So what phobias? Our past life want us to see that our phobias tie into our temptress. It ties into our seduction energy, our seduction nature. A lot of times, again, we think that sensuality and sexuality is wrong. But if it was so wrong, why is it in our emotions? Why is it in our DNA? How did we get sensuality and sexuality? Is this how and why we gave those vows? Why we wanted to make sensuality and sexuality more sacred? You didn't think sexuality and sensuality can be sacred? Oh, yes. When you're sharing it with another, it becomes sacred because the actions that you're going to do to each other. Hey, what's up, Chanel number 5? Oh, yeah, I got that fire. Something's telling me I had to show that Temptress side of self. Ah, that's your nickname? Ah, so you hold the keys. Uh-huh. You hold the keys, don't you? You know you do. You know you do. Keykey, can you love me? Alright, mwah, I love you too. Hey, boo. Yes, even doing that, doing mwah, kissing for another. A lot of times, remember when we were young, and you know how when we used to, when we liked someone, we would try to kiss them on the cheek. And when we were 5 years old, we would wipe our faces like, I don't want to do all that. That's disgusting. It has saliva on it. But yet, when we got a certain age, like, wait, let me see, around 13, when puberty hits, puberty, 13. It's funny how it happens at 12 or 13. The 4. 1 plus 3, 4, foundation. So even though they say at 13 we don't know who we are essentially or sexually, who knows? I think that might have to be re-questioned or re-studied, right? Because once we reach puberty, that's when we're asking, that's when our body is asking our human flesh those same questions. So when we got that phobia, see, a clenching of loyalty, we're trying to ask the question, is our lower nature bad or good with our higher nature? And if our lower nature is so wrong, why do we have it in us? Why can't we just have our higher nature? Well, if we had our higher nature, how would we know how to be humans? We're mammals. We're human. We're Hugh. We have that halo. So we do have connection to source. Oh, your birthday's tomorrow? 26? 2 plus 6, 8. That's Scorpio. So again, I had to do this tonight. The Temptress. What tempts you? Chanel, what tempts you? What causes us to react to not just our lower nature, but to our emotions? Our emotions are sacred, but those emotions we see as phobias because this is not something I can touch. Even though I'm doing this, I can feel my hand moving. And I can feel my nails hitting my hand and stroking it. That gives me a different sensation. Feels like nice little needles. But that's an emotion that I had to figure out how to describe. And once we described it, once we communicated what is sensuality, what is sexuality, how can we make that other part of ourselves united with our mental nature, with our spiritual self? Because we think that spiritual self is this of above, right? But it's also so below. We need both, like this V for victory. But if you look real close, it looks like the womb. Even our hands can tell sensuality and sacred natures. So let's see what wait, let me leave them out. Something's telling me to leave them out because the actions is going to fall in line. Why we got these things and why we see sexuality and sensuality as a phobia. Because a phobia becomes our paradise. Our phobias become our Eden. This is why we had to eat the fruit. Even to this day, don't we eat fruits? Don't fruits have seeds? Don't our ovaries have seeds? So we know different than a fruit. But if we had to describe that, that would be considered a phobia, right? So why we keep eating it? You know the fruit is good. It's not bad. Now, if you don't groom that tree right, even the fruit can become bad. So that is why we had vows of sacredness. Yes, fruit is good. Thank you. So let's see what the actions want to tell us about our Temptress nature. Hmm. Tempting, tempting, temptress. What it takes, what it takes, what it takes to be tempted. Yes. What it takes, what it takes, what it takes to transform. Yes. What it takes, what it takes, what it takes to translate what you feel inside. Yes. What tempts us? What tempts us? What tempts our senses? What tempts our dreams? What tempts us? Oh, what tempts us? Tell me what, what tempts us? Hmm. Well, when it comes to our temptation, our seduction, our nature comes from the house of Scorpio, eighth house. Remember, Miss Chanel, your birthday's tomorrow. 2 plus 6 is 8. Tomorrow's the 26th, right? Let me know if I'm wrong or right. Tomorrow's the 26th. 2 plus 6, 8. The house of Scorpio. That's the house of the unknown. We're stepping into the unknown. This channel is the unknown. Uh-huh, yes. And skilled work is rewarded. What is our temptation is learning more about what tempts us. For example, my temptation is singing. I love singing. I love reading. But my real temptation, if I had to choose between the two, or which one will go first and which one will follow, then I would have to say singing. Because it helps me to translate what my emotions feel, and it helps me to become more scholarly. So, Miss Chanel and others that are watching, what in you can you say is your greatest temptation? What is your greatest translator in you? Like, is it writing? Is it speaking? Do people tell you that you have a way with words? Is it how you smell? Learning. You like learning? Oh, that is an aphrodisiac. A lot of Geminis, Aquarius, Libras, Sagittarius, they love. Even Leos, they love someone that can communicate, that is worldly in how they can put one word into many meanings. Yet it has that communion, that connection that lives together. Where when you speak, people actually understand. You actually let go of their phobias by that. That is your greatest tool, Miss Chanel, is learning. What is it that you like to learn? Is it a particular subject? Is it a particular skill? Is it a particular reaction? Like, some people like to exercise. Do they exercise to get fit? Or are they exercising for a role they're about to play in their life, and they want to have a certain body frame to illustrate that type of character within them that they want to show on the outside? See, a lot of times we use, I'm happy that you love to learn, because even learning causes a person to react and to show that lower nature of what they're learning. In order for us to just learn, we had to react on what we're learning, right? Learning all there is to know about a topic. So, Miss Chanel and to viewers that's watching, your greatest temptation is what you want to learn as a topic. What you want to experience through action. Is it building character? How do you want to build character? What is the elements? Is it becoming more aggressive in your approach? How do you want to be aggressive? Do you want to be sensual in how you become aggressive? Meaning, do you want to use your primal nature your earthly nature, Taurus side, Virgo side, Capricorn side. If you're going to do a Taurus, we like to tame. So if you want to use your earthly side, how would you tame your topic? How would you use your topic to become virtuous, where it appears to be virgin like, but it also has an air of vixen in it? How are you going to show your topic or your temptress in learning in a Capricorn nature? How would you captivate your audience through what you're learning? How would you conjure up people through your learning and how you phrase your learning to attract people to want to learn your skill from you? That is your greatest asset. So if you are going back to school, if you're taking a workshop, if you're going on a retreat, something says workshops, retreats, conventions, any place that makes you feel grounded in learning your skill. Even acting it out. This person's on the outside. He could have been in the library reading this book, but he felt tempted to read outside. When we see people read on buses or in a park, doesn't that make you want to know what caused them to want to read? It must be so good that they wanted to see others see them read their book. That is a way to seduce someone. When we do things outwardly on things we love, that causes someone that is watching from a distance to come to us to want to learn why we are reacting outwardly on our craft. Uh-huh. Hello. So, your vows, that flame of sacredness, comes from the King of Fire. We are tapping into, it's sparking high. So that means source is here to say, yeah, you're about to embark on tempting people through your fire side, through your Leo. How do you lure people in with your motivation? Your idealistic ideas, your inventions, your creativity, your new business venture, or way of attracting a lover. How are you going to use your air of arrogance? Don't get it twisted. We love arrogance in people. It is the level in which they show their arrogance and how we attract them. So, arrogance is in a way that is healthy. It's saying something that you know is true about you. For example, what's true about me is I like to lure people with my voice. And people would say, oh, that's arrogant. Why would you admit that? Because it is true. If I was to sing to you right now, for example, would I be luring you in? Would you walk away or would you stop and listen? If you're stopping and listen, then my arrogance to what I just said was validated. You have now the receipts. That's how you're going to approach your dreams, your lover, your life purpose. You're going to put more fire in how you're going to be ambitious and charismatic. When you do that, focus, focus, focus. Focus on how you want to conjure up people. What way are you going to use your visionary mind, your thinking? You know how when we dream of things, or when we have daydreams, it stems from what motivates us or what we're triggered by. Tap into that. Focus on, or we should, not just you, we should be focusing on what is that fruit? Because fruit is not forbidden. It becomes forbidden when we do not know the knowledge, and that fire is going to set a flame to light that knowledge that we need to know in order to attract that person that we know is best for us, and attracting that opportunity that we always dreamed of, but we were figuring out how to reach it. We reached it first by dreaming it. Once you dream it, it's in the ethers. The ethers is frequencing it to the person or the place that you want to come to you. Have you noticed how when you think about somebody and you're just thinking about them and all of a sudden they call you and they're like, something just told me to call you. You be like, you don't want to admit it, but it was that fiery passion. It was that emotion, that dedication of thinking about someone in your mind's eye so strongly that you focused on that person, you focused on that place, you focused on that thing. And when you put that much energy to it and the imagery that you're painting to that topic is going to bring you someone to create with you. Who knows? They might have that fire. They might be the king of fire. They might be a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. So if you're looking to get to that next level of seducing or serening an audience to your greatest passion, you're going to be collaborating with Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Our phobias stem from the house of Virgo. So we actually, our phobias, that was felt earlier, our phobias is actually our paradise. Phobias are, for example, things that we're afraid of, right? But the things that we're afraid of stem from something that was real. We just don't know where and why it happened. For example, I used to be afraid of mice. Why? Because the place that I used to be around, or in the city, they have mice all around. And they climbed. That was the first time I seen a mouse climb. I was like, oh wait, they climb? Now I'm really scared. I wasn't afraid of them until I noticed that they can climb. I said, wait, in order for them to climb, they gotta have nails. I don't want them near me. So I start to become afraid of them. But then I said, let me become skilled in what is causing me to be afraid. When I researched that my Chinese zodiac sign is a mouse, I said, wait, I'm scared of myself. Let me see what a mouse is. Cunning, mischievous, very resourceful, calculated, and they know how to adapt to any situation. So once I seen them in that type of light, I'm like, oh, they're not anything to be afraid of. I just know when I see one climbing, like, okay, am I a threat to this being? Nope. So I don't have nothing to worry about. And they just walk past me and I look past them. How we translate our phobias, we're going to use that earth side of ourselves, that Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We're going to put a cap to what makes our phobias. We're going to make it into our seduction. So everything that we're afraid of, we're going to use that as our hidden talent to become abundant, to attract that lover, to attract that opportunity of a career path, to attract that life purpose. We're going to seduce and bring out our phobias. Our phobias penetrate our senses. Our phobias is something we can't get away from because our hands will start to become sweaty, our heart rate starts to pump, our body language starts to show that we're uncomfortable. How that translates to another gives them that impression that something is wrong. Now we're going to use that to our advantage. How can you use something that is uncomfortable to our advantage? Example, I'm afraid to sing in public at times. So, what I recently have done in seducing and learning how to attract the audience, so when I am on stage, I am no longer afraid. I now sing in public. I started on this channel. Your energy, your vibe, Keykey's Doorway viewers, subscribers, your energy has given me the strength and confidence to start singing. And it's been a while since I sung. Then I said, wow, if I'm able to sing on a public media, then I should be able to sing outside. So what is causing me to always get nervous is people's facial expressions. Just like this woman here. This face tells you something is of concern to her. How can we turn this into a Mona Lisa smile? We do that by facing our fears. So I had to face my fears and sing publicly. Random places that I know is a lot of people and sing. Or walk and sing and see if people follow or stop and stare. I noticed when they stopped and stare, I would stop and sing and see if they would come to me. They do. What gift, what talent, viewer, subscriber, do you have that can be a sensational energy to use on the outside? What skill that you have that if it's learning, what way do you learn, Miss Chanel? What topic do you learn? To give me an example. That will give me an example of that earth side, because when you show that one aspect of learning and you bring it out in a physical way, like if you like to learn, for example, math, what ways can you show physically? How can you seduce someone by showing your mathematical side? Hmm. Is it through tempo? Energy transmitting? Wow, I gotta put that on Keykey's doorway reference. I'm gonna do that after this reading. Energy transmitting. Let me put that down. Energy transmitting. Is it like, you know how when you rub you rub yourself because you have clothing on and then you touch somebody else and they have electric shock? Is it like that, for example? Miss Chanel? If it's energy transmitting, to me, turning negative energy into positive. So, Miss Chanel, coming up on your birthday, how, and that would be the perfect time, because on birthdays we have a excuse to be what we want to be and do what we want to do, and no one can say no. All we gotta do is say it's my birthday, so I could do that. Like when it's my birthday, I like to dress sexy. I'm earth sign, so I'm casual wear. I like my sneakers, jeans. But when it's my birthday, I like to wear, tight clothes and show my boobs, and and put on my scented oils. You're an empath. Okay, so if you are empath, right? So if since you're an empath, how can you, this is the question you should ask yourself, how can you show changing negative energy into positive? For example, you notice how when a friend is mad, like when you come up and you say, hey, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, the time you meet them, or hey, what's going on? What's going on? And they look pissed off, it makes you stop and want to feel that energy on what level are they pissed off, right? That's one way you're showing a physical form of, okay, I'm about to be centered to understand this person's energy. Then you can use it as a game. Like, I want to try a game with you guys. I want to see if my technique can really work on a physical way. And people are open to that. When it's a game, people love games. They're not nervous when it's a game. When earthly things, we are not afraid of. We feel comfortable with. So, Chanel, use your learning of positive energy as a game, like a physical game. Like, you know how we used to play the picture game, Picture 8, or Twister, or when you had to physically act out something? Okay, have somebody show a motion that they are, but that they really want to feel like right now. Like, say for instance, they want to show their seductive side, right? Say, okay, show me your seductive side right now. They like, what? Because that means they gotta show like this flame physically, not just through their body language, but through their words and the way they move when they say their words. When you do that, that's when you can translate to them what you're feeling through how they're acting and seducing. That way, it teaches them, oh, when I use this skill, it gives off this energy. So then they know how to use that seductive skill to get better business clients, better roles in gigs, or even healthier relationships, and how they attract friends and lovers. Yes. Thank you. You are my inspiration. You are my muse. We are muse for each other. That's how we got to be mused. We looked at people's energy and figured out how to use it to not just our advantage, but to show them how their own energy can help them or hinder them. That is your greatest gift. You can show people how they could use their energy, and I need your assistance. So if you could make a YouTube channel, a blog, something physically to show us how to do, it will be a success. Because one thing about human beings is we live in a world of phobias. Everything in our life is a phobia until we learn the knowledge of what it truly is by doing resources and or research. And because Miss Chanel that you're a natural researcher, you are helping other people use your tools. What tools do you use to research? How do you research? Do you go to libraries? Do you go to museums? Do you go and listen to music? What type of music do you listen to? That's a frequency. What books do you read? That has a language to it. That has an energy to it. Because in order for you to read, like if I'm saying that's awesome, how do you feel when I say it that way? Or if I say that's awesome, baby, that's really awesome, how would that make you feel? See, the word is the same, but the frequency of my vocal box changed. Based on that vocal box changing tells a person how you excite them. Wow, thank you, Miss Chanel. I hope to give my mission is to motivate. When I was doing the meditation on the 24th of turning lack into luxury, a lot of times people when they hear that word lack, a lot of they think lack is negative, but it's how we experience that word that gives it that energy, right, Miss Chanel? So, for example, when I was saying my meditation as turning lack into luxury, in my mind's eye, or what I was dreaming of when saying that, when meditating, I was thinking of how can I build my insecurity of my confidence to a concrete level? Because even though I do readings, like any human being, sometimes we lack confidence, or sometimes we feel like, are we doing who we are correctly to attract the things that we want? And sometimes it takes us to look at our phobia. So that's why I did the meditation of turning lack into luxury. I actually had to step out on the 24th and promote teaching, promote that I would like to tutor people, promote that I like to teach singing, promote that I like to help people tap into their creative side, into their life purpose, and have flyers to promote as a receipt. I had to have a receipt. And that was scary. But my loyalty to my conviction of singing, of learning and teaching someone, compelled me. It tempted me. It even when I try to dismiss it, like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, something like my soul or my emotions became deep. Like it became like, if you don't do it now, you're going to feel bad about it later. If you don't do it now, then are you really passionate about it? Are you really that concrete about it? That would explain why nothing happening for you. I just couldn't take it. I had to step out. Our dreams, or the things that we see as phobias, are our greatest motivation, is our greatest magnet. Transmutation. Transmutation makes me think of a vehicle. A vehicle, like our bodies, shut down, right? And until we learn what to heal, or how to operate it, or how to give it that boost, that fiery spark again, it can become a burden. And a burden we place punishment on. And that's not something we want to do this time. We want to transmute our energy, our negative energy, into appreciation. But how can we appreciate it if we don't know how to physically turn negative energy into positive energy? That's where you come into play, Miss Chanel. Is people like myself, me, and many other human beings are still learning how to accept our our negative emotions, meaning our anger, our sensuality, our sexuality, our lower nature. We see lower nature as bad. We don't know how to use that energy, or sometimes we have used that energy for good. We just didn't know when we were using it for good. For example, when we're passionate about our dreams, we physically go and do something about it, right? That action alone causes someone to ask us what gave us that spark, that fire, that king and queen of fire, that charm to go out and be that ambition side. Mm-hmm. So when we tap into our phobia and we use our phobia as a physical way to experiment, gifts of money, time, or effort will come. I say gifts of money, time, and effort. I'm a Taurus. I like it all. I like it all. Oh. I like the meat and potatoes. Ah. Like the whole dish, not the appetizer. Now, I like it all, baby. I want it all, baby. Don't we want it all? So, when we bring out that phobia, we turn it into a physical act of paradise. How we can penetrate and pierce that into a perimeter for something new to come in. Gifts of money, time, and effort will appear. New career opportunities will appear. Receiving a loan or paying off debts will be cleared. So I'm pretty much answering my own question too. I was trying to figure out which ways to, when you're creative, how can you tap into creative energy to make a reality? That can be a difficult thing at times, you know? See, I already got my fire sign brother to give me that energy now. Yeah, so let's see what our past life also want to show us about what tempts us, what we use to seduce or succumb to when it comes to our life purpose, when it comes to attracting the things that we truly want in our lives. Let's see. I can see we're definitely being earth grounded, and we're using our natural resources. We're becoming financially savvy on how we want to get our career path as a real business, not something as a hobby anymore. So let's see. Tick, 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 tick on my heart. Tick, 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 tick all the time. Tick, 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 tick. We got so much time on our hands, so much time to translate, to transmute our energy. We do have a lot of time to transmute our energy. I think that's why we use certain devices, certain elixirs, and certain objects to tame it when we should find ways to release it. Again, that's where you come into play. Miss Chanel. Ah, unicorn. Re-ready. Re-ready. Yeah. Re-ready. So, ooh, ooh, ooh. Tick, 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 tick. It's like it's like masturbation. Tick, 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 to you climax. To you translate. Do you tolerate? Let me stop. Let me not go there, cause we gonna go there right now. So, how we are going to use our topic in tempting others to be drawn into what we have to offer is through our wisdom. A lot of times, our temptation or how we attract others is really through our wisdom. Like, how do you think you got a friend? Just by your physical body? Yes, that was one tool. You were wise to know how you wanted to dress that way, how you wanted to smell that day, how your hair wanted to be presented in a way that when you moved, it matched to whether or win a person's heart or win a person's attention. It's like going to school for the first day. The clothes you were wearing, the soap you wanted to buy to wash yourself in, the lotion you wanted to put on, the grease you wanted to put in your hair, the style you wanted to set, the magazine you went to go out to get to see how you wanted to do your hair and body in style, that came from wisdom. You had to learn who you are. Who you are is different from someone else. That's what makes us a winner. That's what makes an individual become seduced by us. That's what makes people want to dream about us and open up their minds to what we have to offer in our wisdom, in our life purpose, or better yet, your life experience on earth. From the time you were born to now, what did you learn about yourself that attracts another? Plain and simple. Not looking at the things that we know are considered or what people say is considered less attractive. That's not true. But what do we know that when people look at us, they innately are sexually drawn to us or essentially drawn to our spirit? What is it about you, Miss Chanel? What is it about you, viewer, that makes you a winner in someone else's eyes? What is it about your topic, that one topic of who you are, that one trait of who you are, that you know every time you use that trait, it tempts somebody to come to you. Like they can't fight it. You're like a siren. They every time you show that you're learning capabilities, they like, can you just, I'm bad. I misspelled something. Can you punish me, teacher? It's like they become like that. They become like that. Oh, that's a good feeling. So, what is that individual trait in you that you know you can use that is stemming from the wisdom of your life so far? Your life experience have showed you this one trait has always attracted abundance. Not in the same way, but different ways all the time, but it's always been positive. It always took you to a higher and higher level. Bring that out. Bring that out. Why? Because in Greco-Roman times, when we were Greek and Romans, we used our individual traits and skill to attract the audience to make even the highest ruler make a coliseum for us to demonstrate our skills physically. So, Miss Chanel, when I say this is your time tomorrow, this will be your time to bring out that one phobia or that one thing that you consider a trait in you that will show your skill of energy transmutation or energy transmuter or energy translator. You are our human translator. This is how the comic book writer had made Wonder Woman. The whip was the lie detector. When we speak, isn't that a frequency? And the whip was the, like, when you say something wrong, didn't you get hit? That was like, I heard that frequency that you're saying something that is not even in your nature. It's, you are going against your own nature. That's why you're lying. How we learn that is through life experiences. By learning that when we lie about what we really want, the other person can smell it like an animal and then devour it. Now we're going to do that with our fear and turn that into a fortune. Why? Because in our Greek and Roman time, we used our fear as fortune. If my fear, I know my fear had to be singing in Greek or in Roman because that required me to learn words. That would require me to learn different languages. That would require me to experience. In order for me to be become a success in Greek and Roman, I would have to physically experience what it would take to feel heartache, what it would take to feel joy, what it would take to feel sorrow, and translate that in song. So when people hear me, when they see your skill and your talent, you make people feel something. And that's something, it cannot be erased. That's where your wisdom comes from. And you have the authority figure to demonstrate that. Your phobia resonates with the authority figure. You now have the right to demonstrate the things that's within your veins that you know validate you. If it is through learning, if you love learning, show physically how much you love learning. Seduce people on how you love learning. Serene people on how you learn. Taunt people, taunt them, tempt them, tease them by how you learn. This will open up rooms for success. This is how we got to create schools, coliseums, theater, movies, cinema. The things we look at right now that are $1 billion right now, it is through you, viewer, through your skill, through your phobia, through your talent, through that one trait that is very tempting. When people see it in you, they are tempted to follow you. That's something you want to bring out right now. And do not be ashamed of that, because that shame is validated by your higher nature. It is comforted by your higher nature. It wants to be expressed. We have to express that. So let's see what action we're going to use in expressing that tempting side of self, that tempting nature, our tempting ego, our tempting consciousness. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We ready. I see no insects coming down now because I'm saying the truth now. They like, oh, she getting too tantalizing. It's too much frequency up here. We gotta go. We got to go. It was light. So she was saying light stuff at the beginning. Now she went deep. I can't. My little insect self can't take all that heat. I know you couldn't. That's why I started talking like that. I use my phobia. I can't stand insects either. But I started to learn that insects help heal our bodies too. Isn't that funny? Let's see. Our actions. I'm about to put out past life. What am I doing? What am I doing? Let's see. What, what, what would attempt? What, what, what could we show our talent in? To tempt the masses. Yes, show me what, what can we use? What talent wants to be tempted to translate in the now? Yes, I wanna be tempted. Yeah, I wanna break out what tempts me. What tempts me? What translate me? What transgress me? Can transmute you? Can tantalize you? That's how it does. That's how we do. Let's ski. Scooby Doo, Scooby Doo. Where are you? Where are we, Scooby Doo? Where are we, sorcerer? Where are we, seamstress? Of sewing together our dreams to make a reality? Okay. So, how are we going to use our wisdom? That wisdom is by communicating that. The 10 of air. We're using fire and air. Fire and air. Hot and cold. Polar opposites. Yin and yang. So, viewer, subscriber, we're going to be using our Temptress side, our Temptress trait in communication. We're going to be the boss and bossess. We're going to go into the house of Capricorn, the 10th house. That's still Earth, But we, based on that talent, that skill, that one skill, that one, let's just focus on one, that one skill that seduces another, that seduces every time, things that we know can attract, will end difficult situations. It will embrace new change into our lives. And we should be expecting things to get better right now from that. We're coming from a addiction. Our temptation is what causes us to tame our desire. When we drink, when we smoke, when we do things to our bodies that the world sees as negative, let's look at that a little bit deeper for a second. If we had to use the tin of air right now to communicate things, this is a fiery topic. Drinking, smoking, drugs, these are things that people, every human being uses to tame our desire, to tame our emotions, right? Why do we use those things? I just said to tame our emotions. What emotion are we trying to tame? That's what the tin of air is having us to be tempted to bring out. That means I got to bring out the biggest temptation of myself. I suppress my temptation to not to sing, but to show my emotions physically. I just said I'm a Taurus and my opposite sign is Scorpio. So this week for 10 days, this is our 10-day challenge to bring out that one skill that we can translate in a physical world right now to attract that abundance, that relationship, that life purpose that we always wanted. We know that this one trait, this one skill that we use every time does attract positive things. Oh, now you walking off? Now you want to walk off because I'm saying something that requires some temptation? Yeah, you don't got no food. Yeah, yeah, you treading now. I digress. Sorry. If I had to use that tin of air side of myself, I had to be real. For 10 days, we have to show ourselves and others, and this is a beautiful game. How can I show my emotions physically without suppressing them with food, with drinking, smoking, things that I know I can suppress that emotions with to subside it temporarily? Because the things we use to subside our emotions or our desire is a temporary release. It's like eating food. It's like sex. Anything that we are seduced to is temporary. But how we're going to translate that to make it uh, a sacred passage, that's our key. How to turn our temptation or our temptress trait into a solid foundation that when someone sees it and hears about it, it is no longer seen as negative. What is that one trait that you can translate to 10 people, 10 places, and 10 things for 10 days? When we do that, we'll have the chariot on our side. We'll be in the house of Libra, house of the scales. We'll be balanced on our emotions because we know we're bringing out our emotions. So, Miss Chanel, if you have any techniques, this will be the time to use them and show them to people you know. So that way they could be happy to use that technique. And when they use it, it's like a word of mouth. When you use it and show it to someone else, they'll use it and then someone else sees it and they'll ask them, well, how did you know how to use that energy? Because I try to use it, I try to figure out how to use it and I suppressed it and I became angry about it. How did you know how to forgive it and use it? Well, I talked to this person, Miss Chanel, or my friend Chanel. She knows how to transmute negative energy into positive. I could give you her number or I could give you her email address. You could contact her. That's her service. Then all of a sudden, now that tin of air is a business. It is an organization now. It is a network. It is now a brand. It is no longer just something you're learning, but now a service, something that is solidifying people's lives. And with that passion, with that spark that you're seeing, your physical act in your trait show that you are the chariot, that people are following you wherever you go. If you go to the Bronx, or if you go to Kansas, if you go to Atlanta, they find you. They want to find you because they can't get enough of your energy. They can't get enough of your skill. They can't get enough of that tempted trait, that temptress trait. How many layers? We have 7 layers we could show that one trait. How can we show one trait in 7 layers? That is a very good game to play. So we have 10 days to show how we can use that one temptress trait in ourselves in 7 layers. For example, you like to learn, you like to translate or transmute energy into positive energy. Well, it's several types of energy you can transmute into positive energy. You can transmute negative energy about sexuality into positive energy of sexuality. How is that? Because if sexuality was so bad, we as human beings wouldn't have sex anymore. So it's something good about it. How do you translate that into the whole package? Where even when they see the negative side of it, they know that the negative has to be made to appreciate the act of sex itself. That causes a different view, a different mindset of the person. And when we have a different mindset, that changes our energy. Again, what way do you want to show that temptress trait of yourself in 7 faces, in 7 dimensions? That's going to be cool. I can't wait to do that now. Ooh, tempting to touch, tempting to touch. Well, we are becoming fiery, all right, because we have the Leo. We have that fever, that fever, that eye, that virtue, that ego's eye to penetrate and open up. We have the 2 cups. Yeah, them 3 cups spilled because we know we don't need that. We got so much emotions right now. We stopped our addiction. We actually used our addiction as we seen our addiction as the phobia, then use that phobia as now a temptress trait. So now we know these things that we were blaming ourselves for, that we said that were negative, we dropped those. But we kept 2 emotions that we want to generate in showing our temptress trait outwardly. What are the 2 cups that you want to use? One, yeah, can it be emotions? You would have to have emotions to translate that in communications. So we definitely got to have our emotional cup here. But what is that second cup going to be? Is it going to be your spiritual side? Is that the tool that you're going to use? Is that the second horse that you're going to use to forward move your trait to the masses, to the community? Is it your energy that you give off, your emotions and energy? Are you going to show that one trait, that one skill that you know tempts people to want to learn about you and want to be around you? Is it through your energy? What way do you want to show your energy? Is it like this and hyper and excited and drilled and based on how person's giving you energy? Or is it going to be laid back and chilled and like, hey? Or is it going to be in between like, yeah, I just like showing that side of self, that I like showing that temptress side. What tempts you? What tempts you? What tempts you? Is it that childlike energy? What is the 2 traits? We have energy, energy, spirituality, and physical. Something's telling me to say physical. Why physical? Oh, well, our first sight, our first attraction is through sight, right? So how do you physically want to appear as well? These are 4 that you could think about. Out of the 4, which 2 do you want to use? Do you want to use your emotions with your physical side? How you physically going to look, physically going to act? Is it your emotions with your spiritual side, showing your spiritual techniques and teachings in your temptress trait, in your seductive trait. That's going to be interesting. That's the question to ask. Because when we do physically present that, because we're having that option, our phobia is going to surface sometimes. Expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. Those sleepless nights is going to cause us to stay up. When we stay up, that's the time to use more of our creativity. That's the time where you want to start jotting down what you're going to do the next day to physically show your temptress trait, your temptress skill, your temptress character, your temptress morality. Okay? Wow. When we use those sleepless nights to jot down, to record, to draw, anything creative, to release that energy so we could physically do it the next day, we become the ace of water. We become very empathic, very intuitive. We become very primal, animalistic on how to hunt on the people, places, and situations. We can use our temptress skill. People are going to start to fall in love with us, and they're going to give us the resurgency or resurgence of a relationship, or rethinking of how a relationship can be once we show that side of ourselves. A spiritual growth will occur, and enhanced intuition, a new home. That will explain the communal living. So what is that temptress side of yourself? Is it seduction? How do you use your seduction? Is it through your creativity? What kind of creativity is it? What kind of skill do you have? Is it communication? Is it through language? Is it through learning? Is it through dancing? Is it through writing? Is it through body language? Are you a psychiatrist? Whatever skill you have, turn that one skill into a temptress. Make that become the fortress to draw in people, places, and things that you want to become abundant with. Till we meet again, I love you. We will see you on the other side. Thank you. Thank you, viewer. Thank you, subscriber. If you like what you heard and seen, please like, share, and subscribe. Yes, give thumbs up. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to get a personal reading or ask a one question reading, you can contact me. Reach out to me at Keys. Let me repeat that. Key, Keys, Keys, Keys dot doorway, DOORWAY at Gmail. Keys dot DOORWAY. Become that ace. Have people fall in love with your temptress trait. Alright? I'm gonna have to start doing that. We got 10 days. 10 days. And what better? That'll be going into October, the month of the unknown. What a better time. I love you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time to go into Akashi Records with me. I see that Akashi Records wanted us to really learn that temptress, and to be tempting, and to be luring, and to conjure is not a bad thing. Now is the time to see how we can use that to our advantage. We will see you on the other side.